Hey guys, and welcome to, part 2 of my video game collection. If you remember, a while ago I did a 3DS game collection video, and people seem to like that kind of thing, and I know I like it personally. So I decided to continue on and do a few more episodes covering the various consoles and computer games that I own. And I just thought it would be nice to start off with a few gamepad and controller sounds. This is, I'm not sure what it's called. It's some special variant of Xbox controller. I think it's just a white one. It's not like the Elite or anything like that. But yeah, I really like the white and the gold and that kind of thing. The only issue I have with this at the moment is like the charge port's breaking or something. So I don't know, sometimes when I've got it connected by the cable, I've got one of those charging packs in it instead of batteries. So sometimes when I have it on the cable, it like disconnects halfway through a game and it's quite annoying. But other than that, solid controller. But we didn't come here to talk about accessories, so let's get onto the games. I have a handful of physical games and then a lot of digital. I take advantage of the free games with gold deals and stuff. And there were some really good sales on around Halloween, so I've got my physical copies here and I've got a list of the digital ones over here. So I guess we'll just start with the physical ones. And this is in no particular order. I usually like having them in alphabetical order, but silly me, I forgot to order them before this. But that's okay. So the first one up is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I'm very tempted to do this whole thing, like moving it side to side of the mic, but it's a mono mic, so there'd be no point. I only got this very recently, even though it came out in 2015, I think, yeah. Delivering 3 expansive and distinct game experiences. Campaign co-op, multiplayer, the glare, and zombies. I don't play actually a lot of Call of Duty these days. I used to be pretty into it back in the day. In fact, when I was in like 5 or so, 6 years ago, longer than that, 7 to 8 years ago, I started playing Modern Warfare 2 online, and that was the first like online multiplayer game that I ever played, really. And I got pretty good at it, but I was playing on a terrible laptop and like on the couch with my mouse and like a makeshift mouse pad, so yeah, it probably could have been better if I was playing it properly, but you make do with what you have, you know. I had to play it on the lowest graphical settings because it was a laptop that wasn't meant to be playing games, and yeah, it just wasn't a great setup, so I don't recommend that. Then my friends and I got Call of Duty Black Ops 1 on PS3, and I think that was my first like real online multiplayer experience for the PlayStation 3. And it was pretty fun, and to be honest, we had 3 of us that regularly played. We were pretty good. There was at least 2 of us on top of our team's scoreboard pretty much every game we played. And we played Domination and Team Deathmatch mostly. We'd chuck in a few like gun games and Sticks and Stones in there, but yeah, we were actually pretty good, and it was because we had like a friendly competition between us to be the first to get to dogs and stuff, and we just find creative ways to get dogs and spring it on our teammates every match and stuff, and it was pretty fun. Then we got Black Ops 2, and that was okay, but it wasn't, I don't know if it's nostalgia or what, but I've always preferred Black Ops 1. It's probably my favourite online Call of Duty is Black Ops 1. So we played Black Ops 2 for a little bit, but didn't really last that long. And then I went for a while without getting a Call of Duty. I got Advanced Warfare on the computer, but I felt the multiplayer wasn't balanced at all. There was basically like 3 guns that people used, and yeah, I wasn't really into it. Then some of my friends at work told me that this was on sale at our local game store and that they wanted to play multiplayer with me. So I hadn't bought anything for a while, so I picked this up and we played a bit. And because they've never played Call of Duty with me before, they sort of, even though I told them that I'd played it before, they sort of underestimated me, that, you know, I was missing out on multiplayer because I just played the campaign first. And then I played my first game with them and was on top of our team leaderboard again, like humble brag totally. But yeah, our friend was like, okay, yeah, you're good. I'm like, yeah, dude, I've told you, I've played COD before, they're pretty much all the same. But yeah, it's fun, and the campaign was very hard to do and realistic with one-shot kills and stuff, but yeah, still got to go back and get a few accolades and achievements in it, but I think it's definitely better than Advanced Warfare. But we'll move on to the next game, which is Rise, Son of Rome. Day 1, 2013 edition. I didn't get this day 1, I got this like 6 weeks ago. So just a few years after it came out. Because it was like $8, I think, in a sale in that same store, pre-owned. I was like, hell yeah, I'll pay $8 for that. I bet it's worth like 20, so. And yeah, it was worth $8. It got a bit repetitive. It's kind of that combo-y fighting like Batman Arkham or Assassin's Creed, where you've got like an attack, and then you've got a strong attack, and then you've got counter, and as long as you just hit counter every time someone goes to attack you, you pretty much never die. But it looked really good, and the story was pretty interesting. So yeah, if you can find a copy for $8, pick it up. As for me, I'm probably going to trade this copy back in since I finished it, and I've got no real interest in the online stuff. But moving on, we have Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Negotiation is over, apparently. I play a lot of Counter-Strike, and I like the cooperative and tactical side of that. And I'm very much interested in how Rainbow Six Siege sort of takes that one step further with like destructive environments and gear and all that. And I actually own this on Xbox and Steam, and I still have not ever started it up. It's installed on both and updated, ready to go. Never launched it. I'm supposed to play it with friends, but none of them have it installed, or in one case bought it, so you know, they kind of left me high and dry. So maybe I'll have to play some online, like solo queuing with that. But it does look cool, just like taking on 30 terrorists with you and your friends in like a house. So I'm kind of into that. So yeah, I guess I'll play it at some stage. Next up we have Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I nearly accidentally bought Ground Zeroes because I couldn't really tell the difference at the time. But I'm pretty sure Ground Zeroes is like a prequel to this. All for Revenge. 9 years after the fall of Mother Base, legendary hero Snake wakes from a coma. Together with Ocelot and Miller, he must rebuild Mother Base and establish a new armed force, Diamond Dogs. Only then will he have his revenge on Cypher. The Phantom Pain brings an explosive conclusion to the Metal Gear Solid 5 experience. I possibly got the wrong one. I was pretty sure this came out first though. Regardless, this is my first. Regardless, this is my first Metal Gear Solid game. I was never that much into not tactical, stealth. Not really into that. And I've heard that the Metal Gear Solid timeline and story is incredibly convoluted. But I just heard such great things about this one in particular. And it was on sale, as usual. So I decided that I wanted to try something new. And first impressions, the introduction prologue is so long. You're like crawling around, falling over everything for like the first 40 minutes of the game. And it's like pulling teeth, but once you get past that, there's some actual game underneath it, so that's desired, I guess. Other than that, I haven't played very far into it because I'm not very good at it, to be honest. I sort of played the first couple of missions. I wasn't really sure exactly what I was trying to do. It was fun and smooth, but something just wasn't clicking with me, so I haven't played a lot of it, but I do intend to go back and give it a proper try when I've got like more time to sink into it. There are just some other games at the moment that I know I can knock over really quickly, and I want that sweet release of feeling productive by getting through my game to-do list. But yeah, definitely, I'm still glad I picked it up, because I like experiencing new games, and I've heard such good things about it. So yeah, I don't regret that at all. Next up we have Mad Max. And again, I've heard really good things about this. One of the girls at work actually recommended this to me. And it reminds me a little bit of Shadow of Mordor, where you've got kind of an open world with like quests scattered around it. And there's like fighting, and there's not really racing in Shadow of Mordor, but you get what I'm saying. It's got that kind of open world-ish. It's not like just plot progression the whole time. At least that's what I believe. I haven't actually fired this one up either. But I know I'll sink some time into this. I've seen some gameplay of it, and it looks pretty cool. So I'm into like casual racing, not like Forza or anything like that. I'm not good at those kind of simulator games, but it looks really good. So once I get through some of these other ones, I'll get onto that as well. Next we have, and the case is open, just hang on a sec. We have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. And I'm definitely not what you would call an Assassin's Creed fan. I've played one, which I enjoyed. I think we've been through this before. I'm sorry if we have. I played 1, 2, Brotherhood, a quarter of Revelations before I got sick of Ezio. Which I know everyone loves Ezio, but I was just so tired of him. 3, which was a nice breath of fresh air, but still wasn't really clicking with me. And then I played Black Flag, and I love this game. I think I'm way more invested in pirates than assassins and that kind of thing. Like, I know technically he's still an assassin, but just the environments are so much richer. You've got like tropical Caribbean islands and gorgeous sunsets and naval battles, and like it's such a grind because you take your ship around to all these tiny little inlets and small islands and stuff to get like treasure and collectibles. Yeah, I'm like, I think I was about 60% of the way through according to the save file. And yeah, I really enjoy this game. I've traded in every other Assassin's Creed game I have except one, because I got that on computer way back when it came out. But even after I finish this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep it, just because it'd be nice to go back and play one day. Like, it just looks stunning, and free running is a lot less sticky, I feel. And honestly, it's finally nice to be able to enjoy an Assassin's Creed game without just saying that I played it, and just listening to people rave about it without being able to really reciprocate. So yeah, I have no interest in playing any other Assassin's Creeds. I'm just going to stick with 4, and that'll do me, I think. Next up, we have Trials Fusion Deluxe Edition, Season Pass included. This was like $20, I think, and it's worth every penny because I love these kinds of games. The sky is no longer the limit. I know you can't see it very well, but if I reach it forward, it goes blurry, so I'm gonna have to live with it, I'm afraid. If you're not familiar with Trials Fusion, it's basically a series of courses that are made for you to ride your bike from start to finish. And there's like death-defying stunts and explosions and space and unicorns and yeah, basically just tracks that you try and complete in one run and do various challenges on. And some of the levels get very difficult, and the perfectionist in me wants to get all the gold medals and stuff, but that is not possible because there are some very hard challenges in there, and I just get frustrated too easily. But I really enjoy it. It's one of those ones that you can just pick up and like put something on TV or whatever, or your second monitor if you're like me, or even like put a YouTube video on your phone. Just have a bash at some tracks, try and get past them. It's like one of those games like Super Meat Boy where it's just when you fail you can get back into it so quickly. And yeah, I enjoyed that one. Next up we have Shadow of Mordor, a game that I mentioned earlier. This is one of my absolute favourite games, I think. I'm not that into Lord of the Rings. I wasn't that into Assassin's Creed type games, but this is like the perfect blend of both of those genres. It's basically you play as a reincarnated lord or something like that. Orcs kill your family basically and you, and then a wraith like resurrects you and half possesses you. And it's so good. There's like a nemesis system where, so there's regular orcs, and then there's like captains, and they're a bit harder to kill, and there's like legendaries and stuff, and they each have individual fears and weaknesses and strengths. And when you kill a captain, it will disappear off the board for a while, but eventually it'll pop back up, whereas alive, so you just defeat it in battle really. And depending on how you killed it, it'll have deformities, and it even might grow to be scared of that way you killed it. So say you set it on fire, next time it comes back it might be scared of fire and just run off. But they track you down, and they get like, I think they get buffs when you defeat them, and they become your nemesis. But just, yeah, there's like the parkour kind of climbing towers and stuff like Assassin's Creed and Assassinations. And every skill that you can get, like leveling up, is worth it. A lot of these games I have issues with because I'm not interested in like most of the skills, but this and Dying Light, all of those skills are so good and interesting, and it's actually hard to choose. I think I've like 98% finished the main campaign in this. I think there's one side quest that I missed because it's not on the map. I have to go physically find like some giant queen monster thing. And I haven't played the DLC. But just talking about this right now makes me really want to go back and play it. Finish it off. But yeah, if you can find a copy of this somewhere, I highly recommend it. It's really good. The next game I have is NBA 2K15. I bought this because I was really in the mood to play some, like, realistic NBA games, and 2K15 was like the cheapest that I could find. It was like $6 because they just plummet in price every year that goes past. It took me like a whole day to install it because it kept crashing and failing, and then I played it for about 10 minutes and didn't really like it, so I'm going to trade that one back in immediately. So wasted my time more than anything on that one. And I got my basketball game fixed by buying NBA Jam on the arcade store, which is not realistic at all, but apparently that's what I actually needed. So, yeah, I tried. Next up we have Destiny the Taken King Edition, no, Legendary Edition. And there's not really much I can say about Destiny. I've played it on 2 consoles. Both times, friends saying, oh yeah, we should do the raids and stuff. And I've never done a raid in Destiny. I mean, it's fun, like, grinding and stuff. It's a solid shooter, but, like, the most interesting parts of the game, you need a solid squad, a reliable squad to play with you. And we don't all have the time or, schedule availability to do that, so it's a good game, but just make sure you got people to play it with, because it's definitely not worth it to play just by yourself, especially unless they have matchmaking in raids now, which I don't think they do. But yeah. Next we have Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. I was always interested in seeing what kind of games these were. I'd see them all the time on like the discount tables and stuff at our game stores, but I never really paid much attention. I thought it was like a really in-depth RPG. But as it turns out, it's got a solid story. You play as Death, the Horseman, and you have to avenge War, I believe, who is being wrongfully accused of some crime. Redeem his brother's name. Yeah, basically you have like scythes and a ghost horse and stuff, and it's actually kind of like Legend of Zelda, where there's like dungeons where you learn to use abilities and items, and then take on a boss to get whatever the item is that you needed there. And it's actually a solid game, and I think I paid like $30 for it or something, because it was a bit after it came out. I haven't played a lot of it, but if you like those kind of like Legend of Zelda, what else is it like? I don't know, it's not as in-depth an RPG as I thought it was. I get overwhelmed in like those really statistical RPGs and stuff, so when it's watered down like this one and like Skyrim, I can get into it, but yeah. It's quite good. A lot of like 3D platforming and changing out loot and that kind of thing. Next up we have a special edition of Mortal Kombat. I think it's a collector's edition. Not too sure, it's pre-owned when I bought it in a tin. Yeah, it doesn't really have anything special with it. I just like getting collector's tins where I can. So Mortal Kombat X is a weirdly special game to me, because when it was coming out I was following its development super close, because I was always more of a Mortal Kombat player than Tekken or Street Fighter or Killer Instinct. I'm not by any means awesome at it, but I enjoy it. Like I can hold my own. So then I saw Mortal Kombat X coming out. I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. Like I can't wait for new fatalities and stuff. Because I had Mortal Kombat 9, which was just called Mortal Kombat on PS3, and I sunk a lot of hours into that. That was a solid game. And then this one looked even better. Like it looked beautiful. So I actually pre-ordered it on Steam and downloaded it on my gaming laptop, and it was the worst experience that anyone could possibly have on a game they've been waiting for that long. It was just unfortunately so unoptimized when it first came out on PC that there were some maps that I just couldn't play. The frame rate would go down to like slideshow numbers basically. Even on like lowest settings and lowest resolution. And I was like, I have to do this game justice. And that's when I decided to buy my quite expensive gaming computer. All because I bought a $60 game that I couldn't play. And I was like, that's it. I gotta get a desktop. I was playing on a gaming laptop at the time, which until then had held its own. Mortal Kombat just ruined it. But I got my gaming rig, installed Mortal Kombat, and played it on that and defeated the campaign, finished the campaign. And then I was like, you know what? Mortal Kombat's more of a console game. So I bought it on Xbox as well. And then bought a second controller just in case I ever had any friends that got out of line. We had to take it to the fighting games to duke it out, you know. I usually play as, if you're interested at all, Liu Kang is one of my favourites. I like in Mortal Kombat X the new guy that uses the bow. He's pretty cool, or the staff. I think I prefer the staff variant. No, it's the same one, I think. Katana I do alright with. And that's probably about it. Katana, Liu Kang, bow guy whose name escapes me. Scorpion I don't do too badly with, in Sub-Zero, but like everyone knows them, so. Next we have Gears of War Ultimate Edition / Rare Replay, which has 30 games in it. This one I got with the Xbox. It was a bundle that came with like 5 games, which I can't remember what all of them were now. I know one was Fallout 4, and I already had it on PC, so I asked them if I could trade the Fallout 4 from the bundle back in towards the bundle itself, and they're like, you know, you won't get it. I'm like, yeah, I don't want it. Can I put it back towards the bundle? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, sweet. So I traded in like 30 odd plus PlayStation 3 games towards the Xbox bundle, which came with this. I haven't played Gears of War. I know it's a good game. Not really that interested in it. I'm sure I'd enjoy it if I played it, but there are other things that are just calling to me right now that I'm having trouble suppressing, so I don't need to go play something that I'm not that into. But the Rare Replay is actually a really cool game. Collection. It's got 3 Banjo-Kazooie games, which pretty much sold it for me there. So it's got Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, and Banjo-Tooie. And even though people don't like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, I don't mind it too much. I never played Banjo-Tooie, so I do actually want to go play that. But I feel like I've seen some people play through Banjo-Tooie, and it wasn't as... I don't know, I think it was trying a little bit too much to be different to Banjo-Kazooie, which I really enjoyed, and I only beat that like 5 years ago, even though I owned it for about 12. Other notable titles in the Rare Replay include Conker's Bad Fur Day, which I never played, so I'm pretty keen to play that. Let's have a look. Battletoads, I'm not really interested in, but a lot of people like that one. Perfect Dark, which was kind of like GoldenEye. I never played Perfect Dark, but I did play GoldenEye. So I have to check out Perfect Dark in this collection. And that's about it. Oh, Viva Pinata. Never played that. Always thought it was kind of a party game. But I looked it up the other day, and it's like a farming / breeding game, and that actually sounds pretty cool. So I do want to give that a go. So yeah, the bundle was those two: Gears of War and Rare Replay, Halo 5, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Fallout 4. And I traded back Fallout 4. So yeah, I actually got Halo 5 as part of a bundle, which is really cool. I never really played much Halo because I was usually a PlayStation player growing up. The only time I played it was co-op at friends' houses, and we didn't really pay much attention to the story. Kind of just dicked around. So I haven't played this yet because while I was getting the bundle, I picked up Halo, the Master Chief Collection. And let me tell you, I'm not the biggest fan of Halo 1. It's really hard to find where I'm going. But I know these are good games, so I'm trying my hardest to stick with them and get through them. Yeah, so Halo Master Chief Collection includes remastered Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3 and Halo 4, and then Halo 5, so I've got all the main ones. And saying Halo now, actually, it's really weird to me because, yeah, I was never much of a Halo player. So yeah, I've played a couple of hours of one, and it's interesting, but I don't know where I'm going. But a really cool feature of the collector's, Combat Evolved edition of Halo 1, you can press a button and it swaps out all the graphics between original and remastered, just like instantly. There's no like loading or anything. It's like, how the hell they do that? Like, that's got to be stored in memory. But yeah, it's not one of my favourite games, but I know that they're solid games. So that was the last of my physical games. And now I've got two lists of digital titles. The first is games that I have installed and or played. And the second is ones that I don't have installed. They're like ones that I've just collected from the free games and stuff. So we'll start off with ones that I do play. We have 7 Days to Die, which is quite expensive for what it is. It's like Telltale Games making an early access multiplayer zombie survival game. And it's pretty fun. I pretty much only got it to play with my friends who already had it, so I knew I was safe buying it this time. Yeah, I wanted some more multiplayer games that weren't like Call of Duty and shooting stuff, so I got 7 Days to Die. It's pretty fun, but yeah, it was really expensive. It was like $60, which doesn't sound that bad, but considering it's early access, well, I think it's early access, it's still in development, so. And yeah, it's not like the smoothest at the moment. There's animations missing and sort of bugs and stuff, but it's fun. It is good fun when we play. Next up is Alien Isolation, which technically I haven't played on Xbox One, but I did 100% complete it on PlayStation 3. And that is a solid game if you like horror, stealth, like old school horror games, where it's basically you versus the world, but you don't have like tons of guns, not like Doom, you can't just blast your way out of everything. That's a solid game. I played it on hard the first time I played it, and it was so good. It's just being stalked the entire time. Yeah, solid game. And yeah, I bought it on Xbox One because it was $20 on sale, and I wanted to play it in like high res. PlayStation 3 kind of got a bit laggy at times, so. Next is Banner Saga 2. I have that installed, but I haven't played it. It was free with Games with Gold. Burnout Paradise, got that free. That's an Xbox 360 title. I liked Burnout 3 Takedown. That was probably one of my favourite racing games, if you want to call it that. And I've heard Burnout Paradise isn't that good, but I sort of wanted another casual racing game on my Xbox just to, give me a variety, a choice. But I haven't played it yet. Costume Quest 2. And this is one of the probably weirdest choices in game that I would never thought I would like. But yeah, Costume Quest 2 went free like the first month I had Xbox One. And it's like an RPG light where you go around the town picking up different costumes and stuff, and then when you enter a battle, whatever costume you're wearing becomes like your powers in that battle. But it's just something that's really well made. You just, I don't know, walking around town beating up like bushes and bins to get like candy corn. There's something innocent and fulfilling about that. So Costume Quest 2, if you can find that cheap somewhere, pick up a copy. It's definitely worth like $5 to $10 depending on how bored you are. Dead Rising 3, that was on sale as well on Halloween for the Xbox One digital store. I'd played Dead Rising 2 prior to that. Didn't really like it. I felt too pressured with the time limits and all that, the quests. I'd heard good things about 3 though, so I picked up 3, and it's way better than 2. I don't feel as pressured. There's a mode where it specifically says pick this mode if you want time to do like all side quests basically. I'm like, yes, I'll do that one, thank you. And it's satisfying just like beating up zombies with like flashlights and that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm glad I purchased that one. I put a solid few hours into that actually. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I still have to finish it off, but Hand of Fate is a title that I picked up for free from Games with Gold. I never played it until tonight because there was other things to play and I wasn't too sure what the game was about. I know it looked cool from screenshots, but yeah. Then at the moment there's a humble bundle going for like $30, where you get a bunch of Steam games and non-Steam games. And Hand of Fate was one of them. And I was checking out like Reddit message boards and stuff, and people were saying Hand of Fate's a solid game, and I'm like, oh, I have that on Xbox, and I also got it in the bundle that I bought. Let me just load this up real quick, and it's really good. So basically, it's like a card game mixed with an RPG-ish game and sort of like Dungeons and Dragons, and then just like a, I don't know, fighting-ish kind of game. So you get dealt cards, and you have like location cards, and you move your token one space, like from card to card, and you like lose 1 food when you move, and then there also might be an event that happens on that card. So you might have to go into battle, and then you have like equipment cards, so your swords and shields and armor. And you have like curses and blessings and stuff. And when you go into battle, it turns into like a third person beat 'em up ish 3D kind of thing, and you go whatever equipment cards you have become like your character's equipment. You just go fight a couple of dudes and then get rewarded based on the outcome. But basically you're like going through dungeons, and you've jumped from card to card, find stairs to go down to the next level, do the same thing, and then find a boss. And it's kind of addictive. I played it for like 3 hours straight the first time I started it tonight. And yeah, it's starting to get a little bit hard, but I really enjoy it. If you're into that kind of thing, give it a look on Steam. I think it's pretty cheap as well. But I'm super glad I got it for free. It's definitely worth it for free. Unlike some of the other games that I've picked up, I'm pretty sure. Next we have Hitman. Hitman is one of my favourite games on the Xbox. I was never really into the older Hitmans. They were really clunky and I couldn't control them very well. But Hitman Absolution on PC I enjoyed. I'm still halfway through that. And I know most Hitman players apparently don't like that one because it strays too far from the established genre, I guess. But I enjoyed it. But yeah, Hitman 2016, really good game. To be honest, I'm still on the first level because I'm trying to like 100% complete it. So I've done all the regular campaign accolades, I guess you could call it, challenges, and now I'm doing the contracts, the escalation contracts on Paris. So I know the first level really well, and none of the other levels at all. And the last episode for that is out, and I'm really glad because getting the 20 gig updates every other month was super annoying. The only thing I don't like about Hitman and Black Ops 3, they decided to give you an offline and an online profile, so anything you unlock when you're online doesn't carry over to when you're offline, and it's really annoying because, say, my internet was slow the other day, so I was like, I'm not going to play anything online, I'm just going to play the Black Ops 3 campaign. Went to load my save, nope, you don't have one because you're not online. I was like, dude, why do I have to be online to play the campaign? So yeah, that was kind of annoying, but when my internet is working, Hitman's a solid game. Next is Ori and the Blind Forest. I've played about 5 seconds of that, and the reason is because I know everyone says it is really good, and it looks really good, but it's one of those ones that I feel is trying really hard to be artsy and stuff, and I do like those games sometimes, but I just haven't been in the mood for it yet. I'm sure when I do get around to playing it though, I'll enjoy it. And I know that it's a good game, it's just I have to be in the mood for it at the moment. Next up I have Overcooked, which is a solid couch co-op game where you like run a restaurant kind of thing, and you have to run around the screens, and there's always different like tricks to the levels, and yeah, you have to make orders on time. It's like not fast food, it's like soup and burgers and that kind of thing, and it gets pretty chaotic. But if you have like a bunch of friends that are solid gamers, it'll be really rewarding, I think. Unfortunately, I don't have that many people over, so yes, it's a very rare occasion that I get to play that. Next I have Peggle, which is an Xbox 360 title by PopCap, and that's that one where you have like the orange and the blue pegs, I guess, and you gotta hit it with the balls, and I've been trying to completely clear every level in that, getting Ultra Cool Fever, which is basically just a lot of points, and that's fun for just like, if I'm too tired to like focus on an in-depth game like Metal Gear Solid or something, but I want to do something with my hands, I'll just load up Peggle and put something on that I can listen to while I'm just bouncing balls around, you know. Spelunky, gotta have Spelunky. I think I got that free with the Xbox. I was like, yes, I love this game because I bought it on PS3, I bought it on Steam, and then it went free on Xbox. I'm like, yes, like this is perfect. I want it on every possible console I own. I love that game. And like, oh my god, if I could get it on a handheld like a PS Vita or something, I would never like be bored in the bathroom again. So yeah, I love Spelunky. Styx Master of Shadows I have installed. Not too sure why. I guess when I was looking at the screenshots when it was free with Games with Gold, I decided that it was worth getting. But I haven't played it. It looks okay, I just can't even remember what it's about, to be honest. Super Meat Boy, that went free at some stage with Games with Gold. I own that, like, I've got so many copies of that from Humble Bundles, and I own a physical copy that was meant to come with a t-shirt and it didn't, so I was pretty upset about that. Yeah, it's always on Humble Bundle. In fact, I just got another copy with that bundle I was talking about before. And yeah, now I got it on Xbox as well. And it's pretty fun, but it gets really hard, and I used to have the patience for it, but not so much these days, unfortunately. The Cave, I've seen that around a few times. I haven't played it yet, but it was interesting enough for me to download it, so I got that for free on Games with Gold. The Escapist, that was free. I was interested, but not willing to pay for it, basically, because I'm cheap. I put a little bit of time into it, but it looks like it's one of those games where you have to learn routines and keep trying again. So yeah, I've played a little bit, but not heaps. It's okay. I think people like it, so yeah, don't take my word for it. The Wolf Among Us went free with Games with Gold at some stage, and even though I bought that on PS3 and completed it there, I was like, I'm not passing up an opportunity to get that for free on a next-gen console as well. It was a little bit laggy on PS3, so I kind of want to go back and play that. The Wolf Among Us is a solid game. I really like it. Thief. I got Thief for free on Xbox One, which is funny because I originally bought it on PlayStation 3 and it was on a sale. Then I took it back the next day because I played it on PS3. I was like, oh, I actually don't like this at all. So I took it back to the store and I was like, yeah, I bought this yesterday. I'm not really interested in it. Could I just return it for... So I think I returned it for store credit or to put towards something else. And they gave it back to me. Sorry, they gave me back the credit as the full price of the game instead of the discounted one that I paid. So I felt a little bit bad about that, but then I remembered all the times that I traded in PlayStation 3 games and got $3 back, so I was like, well, I'm putting it towards something anyway in your store, so... Yeah, then I got Thief for free on Xbox One, and after seeing the ASMR nerd play the original Thief Gold, I was like, man, this is actually a really solid game. My taste in games kind of changed, I guess, because I used to hate stealth games. Now I have a lot of them. I don't know when that happened. But I've played the first 3 or 4 levels of the new Thief. It's like the Thief remake. And it's pretty damn solid. I enjoy it. And even better, it was free, so... And the last game that I have installed digitally is Unravel. And I bought this the first day it came out, I think, on Xbox One. I was so down for that game. And it is a solid game. The puzzles actually trip me up a lot. I get stuck for ages sometimes. And I don't know if that's because I'm stupid or because the puzzles are meant to be that hard. But yeah, it's a beautiful game, solid music, really good for ASMR, so at some stage, probably expect some videos on that. Yeah, it's like a 3D platformer where the environments are sort of photorealistic and you play as a yarn guy and you have to use your yarn as lassos or bridges and trampolines and stuff, and you collect little buttons and stuff. It's a really solid game. It was $30. I'm like, hell yeah, I'll definitely play that. So yeah. Alright. The final section of this video is games that I technically own because I claimed them as free games from Xbox Gold, or in the case of a couple of them, I bought it and then decided that I didn't want it on my Xbox anymore. Dead Space, I got that for free. The reason I did install is because I've played it 3 times on PlayStation 3 and computer, so I didn't really want to play it again, but I wanted to collect it, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, I claimed that for free. I've never played that, but I've owned it twice now. I don't know, Far Cry 3 was too buggy for me on the PlayStation 3, so I didn't really want to play it on the, I didn't really want to play Blood Dragon on it either. And that whole neon thing doesn't really appeal to me that much, so... Goat Simulator, that was one of the first free games that I got. And I'm glad it was free because, oh my god, it lasted about an hour before I was bored. I don't know how it was so popular. I get it's fun to muck around in it, but it was... I know I tried everything. I stuck to things. I played 0G basketball or whatever. I don't know. I guess I like more rigorous outlines in my games. I Am Alive. It looked interesting enough to collect, but not enough to play. That was an Xbox 360 free title. Killer Instinct, that went free at some stage, was really good because my housemate loves it, but I never play it with him because he kicks my ass so hard that I have to redeem myself in Mortal Kombat. So yeah, plus it was like, last time I checked it was like a 30 gig update. I'm like, I never play this and it's taken up room for games that I do want to play, so I had to uninstall it. But yeah, it's still like ready to download. So King's Quest, that's the new one. I think it's just the first chapter that I got for free. I wanted to see what it was like because I'm kind of interested in it, but it's pretty expensive. So Night Squad is like a mini game, like a party game kind of thing that my friend at work told me to get because he loves it, and it's terrible, so I'm judging him for having bad taste in games. Lords of the Fallen looked interesting, but wasn't really enough to play it. Same thing, got it for free. Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time, that's the current free game of the month, and apparently it's a co-op on Valentine's Day, and I'm alone, so I won't be playing that one anytime soon. I mean, I'm sure it's got single player parts, but it's very bright and my eyes hurt, so no. Monkey Island 2 Special Edition. That looks really hard to play on Xbox because I'm pretty sure it's point and click still, so. But I wanted to pick it up, add to the collection. I like collecting, in case you hadn't noticed. Murdered Soul Suspect. I played and 100% completed that, like all trophies on PlayStation 3. It was interesting, but very linear. And, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I think I paid a bit too much for it the first time I bought it. But it's worth having. If you've never played it, like, I'd say maybe $15 to $20. It's worth that. But don't expect a lot of replayability. Outland is some weird looking Xbox 360 game that looked cool, but there are things that I want to play before that, so I never installed it. Outlast I got for free. I'd played and finished that on computer and didn't really want to play it on an Xbox, but again I wanted to collect it, so pretty creepy in some spots, but I find that you can overcome the fear by just like bunny hopping, like just jumping and like running around the level and stuff. It makes it a lot less scary if you just pretend that you're fearless. Rayman Origins. So I'd always heard that that's a really good game, and it went for free a couple of weeks ago on Xbox. So I picked it up, downloaded it, played like the first 2 levels, and I was just like, oh, it's like the jump doesn't feel quite right. It's a bit sticky. So I kind of uninstalled it. I didn't really have interest to play through the whole game. I mean, I know objectively it's a good game and people enjoy it, but I just couldn't get into it really, so. Saints Row 4. I picked that up because I know that's a good game, but I've not really got the interest to play it at the moment, so it's sitting there in case I ever get bored and want to play something like GTA a bit funnier or cooler, because I'm pretty sure that's the one where you get superpowers and stuff. But yeah, I got that for free. Most of these I got for free. Crimes and Punishment, Sherlock Holmes. I guess something about that piqued my interest enough to claim it for free. There are games that I haven't claimed, and this was not one of them for some reason, so yeah, never played it, but claimed it, so. Sleeping Dogs, I've heard good things about, but again, don't really have the interest in playing it at the moment. That went for free as well. Sunset Overdrive. So when I first got my Xbox, I bought Sunset Overdrive because it was exclusive to Xbox, and I'd heard good things about it. I played it, and I bought the physical copy. It was okay. It was very like ADHD kind of, like constantly just throwing things at you, like always keep moving. Oh, here's like 100 bad guys shooting at you. Make sure you keep jumping on the rails. Now there's a tower defense part of this game. Oh, look at all these collectibles. It was very overwhelming. It was an alright game. Then it went for free on Xbox Live after I'd purchased it. And And once I found out that my physical copy save worked on the free digital copy, I was like, yep, trade that back in. When it was free, I told my friend, I was like, it's worth a free download. And he apparently did not agree, because he was like, yeah, thanks for making me waste my internet downloads, my data cap and stuff. It's like, it's a terrible game. Like, it's not terrible, it takes a little bit to get into, and it's like not really your style, but you asked me if it was good, and I objectively said yes, it's a good game. But yeah, haven't played it in a while. Super Dungeon Bros apparently looked good enough for me to claim, but I've never played it. Rainbow Six Vegas 2, that went free at some stage, and I also got another copy with Siege back there. And I have fond memories of some Rainbow Six game that I played co-op with my friend on his like original Xbox, and we went all tactical and we're like saying to each other like, oh, we got some tangos down the alley and stuff, and like we'd cover each other's corners. We went full on tactical like a nerd, and it was super rewarding and fun. So, but yeah, I haven't played Rainbow Six Vegas 2. And the very last game is The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, and I installed that because it was one of the earlier free games that I got. Installed it, played it for like 10 minutes, and I was like, yeah, nah, not really interested. It was a bit too clunky and wasn't really what I was looking for, so. But yeah, that's my Xbox One game collection. If I had to pick a favourite, it would be probably Shadow of Mordor or Assassin's Creed 4, or possibly, let's have a look, Hitman, yeah. Hitman, Assassin's Creed 4, or Shadow of Mordor. Definitely some of my favourite games. Yeah, there are some super good quality Xbox One games. A few of those I'm going to trade in, I think, towards like probably the new Zelda, to be honest. I don't know, it depends what piques my interest. I usually save up a couple of games to trade in for when there's something I actually want, so I don't just throw it away on another game that I don't want. Especially because of the low return rates on trade-ins, but yeah. Anyway, that is my entire Xbox One game library. Future episodes will contain my PlayStation 3 game library, which is a lot bigger because I've had it way longer. My Wii/Wii U game library, and if I can muster up the efforts, we'll have a look through my Steam library and physical PC games that I own, and that'll be a long video, so we'll see how we go. But I'd like to thank you for joining me for today's video, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.